Gustav and Trevor for inviting us here today from Pinkerton. What I'd like to, and Gustav, by the way, you got the hook. I don't want to go over 15 minutes. I want to eat that by PowerPoint today. So, what I want to do for you folks today is just kind of give you an overview of some of the supply chain security issues that are out there, the enormity of the problem, kind of show you a broad scope of what the wide-ranging threats are to be aware of. Also give you a little overview of our organization, and then more importantly give you some free consulting on some things that we've learned as an organization. Over 160 years we've been in business. Pinkerton is the oldest and largest private security firm in the world, bar none, so we want to share some of that expertise. So, as all enterprises here, you're all representing different business and government quasi-institutions here. You're all struggling with globalization and the risk to your enterprise. Does anybody here like spending money on security? Does anybody have an unlimited budget on security? Probably not. I see a lot of smiling faces, but obviously as responsible people in the supply chain area, you've got some serious concerns. And there's probably multiple things that are keeping you up at night. I'm actually thankful I have a morning session because I was just over in Europe last week and I was in the morning because so you guys should be in trouble late in the afternoon, I imagine. But he was smart, so he's closing off the session, giving them a break so they can recover. I think they're, 7 hours ahead from here? 7 hours, okay. Next slide, please. So here, I'm sorry, I know it's a little small print for some of you in the back, but supply chain, we can't keep up with it. It's a widespread problem, and the problem we have is that a lot of these criminal organizations, they've given up on targeting just single or sole site solutions. They're looking at the supply chains of organizations and they're targeting them in all kinds of fashions, and especially in Europe. We have a massive infrastructure of security trying to aid clients with trucking, shipping, ports, and Europe really gets some formidable foes that are using sophisticated technologies. They're using internal assets. They're turning people. They use some of these folks that are working for these organized crime groups or former intelligence agents that are trained in the dark sciences of elicitation. They do risk assessments. So how do we quantify risk in Pinkerton? Well, risk to us is really what's important to you guys because, like we said, none of you have unlimited budgets to just go out and throw money at security. So what is risk to us? Risk is a formula, which means threat. What is the likely threat to your organization? Is it Osama bin Laden coming to a town near you? Or is it the long-standing regional threats that you may possibly be aware of in your home locations that have been out there from the beginning of times? I mean, what about some of these newer things? Pandemics, swine flu. Some of you folks are trying to do business in other markets. Well, are you thinking about looking at your partners there and doing what we call due diligence? Are they who they say they are, and can they do what they say they can do? I can tell you, next slide please. Here are some other types of issues that we deal with every day. Port shippers, air transfer, doesn't matter. CAPA, all these groups that the previous gentleman from Shanker identified are all industry associations that try and tackle these groups. But China, intellectual property protection. I may go up and down the list for each location, each country, where there's different challenges that you guys need to be aware of because as a representative, primarily, I mean, we do work for all governments, companies, it doesn't matter, but a lot of our mainstay clients are big U.S. multinational customers. So these are the customers that are going to end up engaging you guys, and that's the idea of this forum is for you guys to come here and hopefully develop some U.S. business partners. Well, I can tell you the U.S. standards are higher for security than anything you're ever going to see from any other location in the country. Part of that, it's almost all 100% driven by all the anti-terrorism standards that the government has imposed on U.S. business here. And nobody wants to be embarrassed, have their supply chain compromised and have an incident happen or have their intellectual property compromised or whatever, large thefts that put them out of business. So when you're dealing with U.S. companies, they are ultimately going to require high standards. They're going to probably want to come out and assess your location, your business. They're going to want to see your records. They want to see who you're hiring, why you're hiring. Do you have identification for your employees? Who's coming in? Who's in your business? Who are these people? So they're going to really, the technology, so they're going to look at how could I get in and cause damage. And if we can get in, we can see easy ways to do things or steal things, they may not go to your business. They may take it to the next court or the next city over. So something to be aware of. Next slide. Here's our organization. Well, you know, I think we're what, a third, somebody said, of the Latvian population, 240,000 employees. I don't know if that's true or not, but we're pretty big. And as you can see, we're all over Europe. We're in China. We have 4 offices in China alone. And what are we doing in China? Those 4 offices doing? We're not worried about, you know, muggers and robbers. We're protecting intellectual property rights. We're out there trying to find all the counterfeiters that have stolen all the foreign business ideas, and they're out taking their market share. That's all those guys do there. Russia's got a lot of issues, safety issues. Homeland Security. You guys, if the bad guys don't get you, the regulators will, or the litigators will. So you have to be aware of these situations. CTPAT, AEO, the World Customs Organization framework is coming together. I see one day here in the near future where all these systems, these security systems and border transport systems are under one system. They're not there yet, but be advised of that. If you're dealing with a U.S. company, Custom Trade Partnership Against Terrorism, they're going to want to send somebody like us, a company or representative, to come out to your facility and audit your security standards. And if you don't have them, they're probably not going to do business with you, because they're putting their certification with U.S. Customs, which allows their product to fast track in and out of the United States, at risk if you don't have good, solid security standards. Employee screening, courts, security assessments. Again, nobody's got money to spend on everything. Technology, there's guards, there's systems, there's people that will sell you 18 million things. Well, how do you know what you need? The number one thing I want to give you guys today is do that assessment. What are the threats? What really do I need to be worried about in my business? Internal theft, whatever it may be, it's going to differ. And then rank it. You may have several of them. Rank those threats. And then go and look at your internal, where are the vulnerabilities? Where are the gaps in my organization? Do I have a fence line? Do I have policies and procedures? And my background employees, or locks unlocked, whatever it may be. And where that threat meets that vulnerability is where you need to spend your money, because then it comes into the consequence piece. And that's really what's going to manifest itself out of that, and what's it going to cost you as an organization. So don't put a $1,000 US dollar solution on a $10 problem. Make sure you're really analyzing this as you develop your security programs, because you can't protect everything. Next slide, please. So we offer assessments, policies and procedures, investigations. We do this all over the world for many of your end users, many of your customers. It doesn't matter. We have people all over the world that can help you. We have a lot of former military, law enforcement people that work for us that can pick up the phone. If you're having a problem with the Russian NVD or the FSB or the China, the PSB, or whatever those agencies may have, we have those contacts. We can assist you in navigating that problem to get your product where it needs to go, or whatever that challenge may be for you as an organization. That's the value of an organization like us. We can pick up the phone with the government or whoever and help get things done. And for the port people, the ISPS codes and the assessments related to anything to do with that, we can help with. Next slide. Okay, quick overview of services. A lot of these things are an emergency break glass type stuff and call, but you're probably dealing with AEO right now. That's a new thing, IMO. Next slide, please. Okay, just talks about some of the experiences and some of the personnel we use. Next. I'll be around this afternoon. Any questions? I'd love to interact and talk to you. Many of you are customers as well. Shanker, I'm just there in Poland, your operation there. So love to be here, love to interact and discuss security issues or whatever I can be of assistance to. Thank you very much.